Pretty Loaded for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new video. And hey, if you like this video, then please leave a rate, comment, and subscribe down below. I absolutely love it when you guys do that, and it goes a long way to helping out my channel. So, today, we got another Tech Thursday. This time around, we're talking about a little card from forever ago, Jewels of the Valiant. This is from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, one of the most infamous sets in Yu-Gi-Oh! Introducing both the Dragon Roars and the stuff that made Prophecy / spellbooks absolutely insane. So a lot of the more common cards kind of went under the radar. That includes Jewels of the Valiant. This is a common from Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. It's a continuous spell with the following effect. If exactly one monster is banished from your graveyard, and no other cards are banished at the same time, except during the damage step, you can send from your deck to the graveyard one monster that has a different attribute from that banished monster. You can only use this effect of Jewels of the Valiant once per turn. So basically, to break down what this card does, is once per turn, if one of your monsters is banished from your graveyard and nothing else is at that time, you get to send another monster with a different attribute from your deck to the graveyard. This is a card that has the potential to be absurdly broken in certain archetypes, or even certain decks. The issue is that right now, to my knowledge, there's only 2 decks that can really make use of this, and it's something to consider for those 2 decks. Now, the thing that can make this stupid broken is that if in the future we get something just absolutely insane with this, where oh, it's a deck that banishes a lot and they have multi-attributes everywhere, it could get really shenanigan-y. And yeah, it can for the 2 decks that we're going to talk about for this as a possible tech option. The first and foremost I do want to mention, it has 2 major drawbacks, that being that it's a continuous spell and it's non-searchable. Being a continuous spell, your opponent can easily destroy this at any given time before it's able to get maximum value off of it. And also, it's not searchable at all. Yes, there is that crappy card Watchdog that can technically search out continuous spells, but are you really going to play something that searches it out at the end phase or something to do that? I think it's the end phase. I can't remember. It's been forever since I've read Watchdog, but I just remember it being a bad way to search out continuous spells. So if you ever get a way to search out continuous spells, it's going to be a bit better. And more so, ideally, it's really good in a deck that has a lot of draw power. So, with that being said, let's talk about the first archetype that can make great use of this, and that is Witchcrafter. So Witchcrafter is a deck that conveniently banishes their monsters from the graveyard to do something, and, well, they all have different attributes. So conveniently, this card is made for Witchcrafters, okay? So, hypothetically, let's say you use Witchcrafter Sameta's effect to tribute herself, discard a spell card, and, I don't know, summon Madame Vare from your deck, okay? And then you use her effect in graveyard to banish her to send a copy of, I don't know, any Witchcrafter spell card, like any of the continuous spells from your deck to the graveyard. Banishing Sameta for her effect in the graveyard will trigger Legacy of the Valiant, Jewels of the Valiant, sending another Witchcrafter monster from your deck to the graveyard, like, for instance, maybe Pottery, so that then, if you have no cards in your hand, you can banish it, and then add a dude from your graveyard to your hand, which would be very handy. And, of course, that could then trigger Jewels of the Valiant again at a later time, provided you don't do the same effects during the same turn, which, considering Pottery in particular, needs you to have no hand, it's probably going to be later on. So this combo basically allows you to get multiple cards in your graveyard at a time and really set it up. For instance, banishing the Sameta, you can send a Pottery, you can send a Pitor. You'll probably more preferably send Pitor, because then Pitor can banish herself so that you draw one and discard one. That's pretty good. So overall, this interaction, this is actually what got me thinking about Jewels of the Valiant, because I was messing around with my Witchcrafters and a friend of mine was like, hey, you should try out this card in it, and I'm like, holy crap, this is nutty. The issue again with Jewels of the Valiant and Witchcrafters is that it's not searchable at all, and the deck has to hard draw into it, or you have to get lucky to draw into it using Pot of Extravagance. So in those situations, it does allow for a lot of shenanigans and being able to just deck thin like crazy in this archetype. Being able to just banish the meta, or heck, any of the other ones, and do their effects, and then get another one in the graveyard to do that one's effect, just enables you to just turbo out your deck so fast. It's insane how good this card is in Witchcrafters. And because, again, they have that draw card, well, non-archetypal draw card, but let's be honest, it might as well be. The good old Pot of Extravagance, you can hopefully get to it a bit faster. It's just, again, you do got to draw into it. as the main issue. And also you're playing Witchcrafters. But anyways, the other big deck that I thought of that can play this effectively is Zombies. Zombies have a lot of varied attributes, mostly playing Earth and Dark. Depending on what other archetypes you're playing, like Vendread, Shiranui, Mayakashi, you might be able to get some other attributes mixed in there. But for the most part, if you're looking at the standard Ballardrock Turbo build where you just get out Ballardrock and Zombie World and your opponent basically can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a main combo, okay? So take for instance, let's say you set up your graveyard, you have a Mizuki in your graveyard, you activate Jewels of Valiant, Mizuki effect, banish itself, special summon a dude from your graveyard, Jewels of Valiant effect, send Ballardrock to graveyard, or Plague Spreader to the graveyard, or any other dark zombie from your deck to the graveyard. Right? It doesn't even have to be a zombie, it can be anything. I believe the Glow Up Bloom is a dark monster. You could send that. If not, then I apologize. You can send something else. It's insane how much this gets off of here, and I feel like that it's honestly probably a better pick for zombies than it is for Witchcrafters. The issue though is that zombies aren't able to draw as much. I mean, well, they kind of can. I mean, if you get out Vampire Sucker and she doesn't get ashed every turn, like it seems to happen to me all the time, then yeah, you can draw through your deck pretty consistently and get to it. The issue is that in zombies at least, and also with Witchcrafters, Jewels of Valiant is more of a combo extender and enabler less than a starter, and I feel like that's really the biggest issue with the card. You know, Jewels of Valiant, this card is really good getting into your hand later on, but however, it really does need to be, it needs some setup to be able to really trigger and go off from there. Without that setup, without having a Mizuki in your graveyard, or a Witchcrafter in your graveyard, or whatever else happens to be in your graveyard, it's really hard for it to be able to continuously go plus, and if you're not able to trigger it as soon as possible, that just makes it easier for your opponent to destroy it. So this is why I really mainly wanted to talk about it, because this is a card that if we get a really, really good archetype with a good consistent draw power and really good graveyard setup, this card could become very, very nutty very, very fast. Witchcrafters and Zombies are both really good contenders for that if they ever get more really good support, and let's be honest, some Zombies are always going to be getting more good support. Don't know about Witchcrafters, but however, to that extent, I feel like that Jewels of Valiant is at least a card that you should consider keeping an eye on. You know, maybe pick up a play set, hold on to them, and wait and see what happens. This is one of those cards you're going to want to have in your collection just in case, because I guarantee you it's not going to get reprinted again for a long time, unless it does become a breakout card and it gets like reprinted in a Astral Pack or something. So for that knowledge, I hope you guys consider picking up this card, at least to hold on for the future. But hey, if you do play Witchcrafters or you do play Zombies, have you tested this card? Are you considering testing this card? Let me know what your guys' experiences with it is. To me, it's worked really, really well in Witchcrafters, and I've had pretty good success with it in Zombies. I've found that it tends to be better in Witchcrafters, but that just might be my experience. I don't know. So guys, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And what cards do you want me to cover in Tech Thursdays in the future? Have a great day. Peace out. And thank you all for watching.